This path is usually divided into 7 distinct levels of reality. Each level brings its own unique challenges, unexpected pain, and growth. Most aspiring entrepreneurs start with a simple vision of success. They imagine a life filled with endless luxury and absolute financial freedom. However, the actual reality is far more complicated and demanding. The road to success is paved with continuous struggles and countless failures. Let us break down these 7 crucial stages of entrepreneurship. You will finally understand what it truly takes to build a company. Level 0 is the employee with a big, ambitious dream. This is the safest financial stage, yet it feels incredibly frustrating daily. You sit at your office desk staring at the screen. Your mind wanders away from your daily tasks toward a brighter future. You have the perfect business plan hidden in an Excel spreadsheet. You look at it every single day during your lunch break. The numbers look absolutely fantastic on your bright computer screen. You calculate your future profits and imagine a completely different lifestyle soon. But fear holds you back from taking the first step. The steady paycheck provides a comfortable illusion of security and absolute safety. You talk about your grand business ideas with your closest friends. They nod politely, but nothing ever changes in your daily routine. Months turn into years, while that Excel file remains unopened. The dream slowly fades into the background of your busy corporate life. The pain of staying exactly the same finally becomes unbearable. You realize that you must take a massive risk to achieve greatness. You start saving money quietly to prepare for your departure. Every dollar saved feels like a small step toward your ultimate freedom. Finally, you draft the resignation letter with a trembling hand. You take a deep breath and hit the send button with courage. Level 1 represents the massive leap and the sudden silence. It is your very first morning after leaving the safe corporate world. You wake up expecting the usual rush of morning emails. Instead, your phone remains completely silent and nobody is demanding your attention. There are no more Slack notifications or pointless team meetings. The overwhelming silence in your room suddenly feels incredibly heavy and terrifying. A massive identity crisis begins to creep into your mind. You wonder if you made the biggest mistake of your entire life. Without a boss telling you what to do every hour, you feel lost. You must create your own structure from absolute scratch. You sit at your kitchen table with a blank notebook. The reality of being entirely on your own finally hits you hard. You try to stay productive by doing small, meaningless tasks. You redesign your logo again instead of actually calling potential new clients. The days feel incredibly long and surprisingly empty at first. You struggle to find the right motivation to push through the uncertainty. Your friends are at work while you sit alone entirely. The isolation becomes the first major psychological hurdle you must overcome quickly. You must learn to become your own strict, demanding manager. This requires a completely new level of personal discipline and mental fortitude. Level 2 is the notorious and painful first full year. This is the ultimate stage of burning through your hard-earned cash. Your average income as a new entrepreneur drops to 0. It is often much lower than your previous comfortable corporate salary level. Meanwhile, your daily operational costs continue to rise without mercy. Software subscriptions, marketing experiments, and legal fees drain your precious bank account. You work late into the night under a dim lamp. The glowing computer screen is your only companion during these difficult hours. You start questioning every single financial decision you have made. Watching your savings account slowly disappear is an incredibly stressful daily experience. You take on any client just to make some money. Sometimes you work for free just to build your early business portfolio. The glamorous entrepreneur lifestyle you imagined is nowhere to be found. You are eating cheap noodles and worrying about the next rent. You wear every single hat in your tiny new business. You are the marketer, the accountant, the janitor, and the stressed CEO. Sleep becomes a luxury you simply can no longer afford. Your mind races constantly with endless lists of urgent tasks and problems. Despite the immense pain, you are learning at incredible speeds. Every failure teaches you a valuable lesson about business and human psychology. You survive the first year purely on adrenaline and hope. You refuse to give up and return to the boring corporate cubicle. Level 3 brings the very first taste of real traction. You finally experience that magical month where you hit $10,000. Seeing those 5 digits in your bank account feels incredible. All the sleepless nights and constant sacrifices suddenly seem entirely worth it. You feel an overwhelming surge of confidence and absolute pride. You want to shout your massive success from the highest mountaintop. However, this is actually the most dangerous phase for founders. The deadly trap of sudden lifestyle inflation is waiting for your mistakes. You start looking at expensive cars and fancy office spaces. You convince yourself that you need to look successful to attract clients. You upgrade your equipment and buy premium software you ignore. You start spending money like a millionaire before you actually become one. But the revenue is still highly unstable and completely unpredictable. Next month, your income might suddenly drop back down to nearly zero. If you increase your personal expenses now, you risk everything. Many promising businesses die right here because of foolish financial ego trips. The smartest founders remain incredibly humble during this exciting phase. They reinvest every single dollar back into growing their fragile new business. You must resist the urge to show off your success. True wealth is built silently over many years of consistent, disciplined effort. Level 4 is widely known as the messy, chaotic middle. This phase usually spans from year 2 through year 4 of business. Welcome to what experts call the dark trough of sorrow. The initial excitement is gone, replaced by an endless, exhausting daily grind. The work becomes incredibly repetitive and surprisingly boring every day. You are essentially doing the exact same tasks over and over. Growth slows down to a frustratingly invisible, slow, painful crawl. You feel like you are pushing a massive boulder up a mountain. The loneliness of leadership begins to crush your tired soul. Nobody truly understands the immense pressure you carry on your weary shoulders. Your friends think you're rich and totally stress-free. They don't see the silent panic attacks before major client meetings. You face constant rejection and endless complaints from difficult customers. It feels like the entire universe is actively plotting against your success. You seriously consider quitting and getting a regular job again. The thought of a steady, guaranteed paycheck becomes incredibly tempting once more. But deep down, you know you can never go back. You have tasted freedom, and you must push through this dark tunnel. This is where true character is forged in the fire. You learn to detach your personal emotions from the daily business outcomes. You build solid systems and reliable processes for the future. You slowly transform from a frantic hustler to a strategic, calm leader. Surviving the messy middle requires absolute, undeniable, relentless mental toughness. Only the most dedicated entrepreneurs ever make it out of this phase. Level 5 introduces a massive milestone, your very first hire. This is the crucial turning point from freelancer to actual business owner. Bringing someone else onto your team changes the dynamic completely. You are no longer just responsible for your own survival and success. You now carry the heavy burden of meeting regular payroll. Another human being relies on your company to feed their own family. The hiring process is terrifying and filled with unexpected challenges. You spend hours interviewing candidates, hoping to find the perfect, reliable fit. Training your new employee takes up all your precious time. You realize that managing people is a different, complex skill set. Sometimes they make costly mistakes that damage your hard work. You must learn to delegate properly without losing your temper or patience. Letting go of absolute control is incredibly difficult for founders. You must trust others to handle tasks you used to do perfectly. When it works, the feeling of shared success is amazing. You finally have someone to celebrate the small daily victories with you. Your business can now operate even when you are sleeping. This is the first real step towards building a truly scalable enterprise. You are officially a boss with all the associated headaches. Leadership requires immense empathy, crystal clear communication, and infinite daily patience. Level 6 is characterized by the beautiful number on LinkedIn. Your company finally hits $500,000 in annual revenue. From the outside, you look like an incredibly